right, boys and girls, we are ready for a book. And the title of this book is Mistletoe. Mistletoe. The author is Margie Pallanti. The illustrator is Henry Cole. 'Twas the season, and Moose was merry. He joyfully tickled the ivories with a tune full of tidings and a flurry of fa-la-las. He was so full of ho-ho-hos, even his moustache had the holiday spirit. Look at him, boys and girls, he is having a good time. But Moose was more than just a bit merry and bright. He was busy, busy, busy. There was a lot to be done on his list of to-dos. But with orderly organization, a bit of regimentation, lots of imagination, and just plain old Moose know-how, getting ready for the big day should have been simple. Easy, yes, in all probability, just perfectly perfect. Look how long his list is, and look how big his moustache is. He wasted not one merry minute. Moose got moving and put some hustle into the holiday bustle. He went to work. He wrote cards and letters till his hooves hurt. Check. He shopped till he dropped. Check. So he's checking things off his list. He hauled home boxes and bags and presents galore. Moose had gifts for everyone, stacked from ceiling to floor. Check. Check, check. Then he rapped, yo, 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 and he ribboned, ho, 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 and on each and every package he tied a big, beautiful bow. Check and double check. So far, so simple, so easy, so perfectly perfect. He's getting everything done on his list. Another look at the list, and Moose headed for the kitchen. He pulled out the pots, pans, and bowls, sifted through stacks and racks of cookbooks. He whisked with his left, spooned with his right. Moose baked tons of tins of cookies. Check. Dozens of cakes, breads, and sweets. Check, check, check. He made jellies, sticky jams. Moose roasted a goose and some chestnuts. He toasted marshmallows and yams. Check, check, check. Triple check. Yes, yes, so simple, so easy, and but of course, so perfectly perfect. Decorations were up next on his list of things to do and get done, so Moose decked the halls. Then he spruced up the walls. He beaded, bowed, and mistletoed. He gathered garlands, roped wreaths and holly, jingled bells, sang noels. Oh, good golly, this Moose was jolly. Check, 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 check. Last but not least, he hung up all the stockings, each and every one with special care. And just in time, too. Soon Santa would be there. Check and final check. Yes, sirree, getting ready for Christmas was an absolute snap. And so simple, so easy. And if he did say so himself, Moose thought totally, utterly, completely, perfectly perfect. On that night, before Christmas, Mother, little Sissy, Bucky, and Junior looked all through the house. What a job Moose had done. Everything looked beautiful, festive, quite fine indeed. There was just one minor problem, if you will. Oh dear, sighed the missus, as the five stared at one empty corner. Oh my. Oh me. Oh gee. Pop, what happened? Cried Junior. You forgot the tree. Oops! Where would they hang the tinsel, string the popcorn, light the lights? Where would Santa leave his gifts for the kiddies on Christmas Eve night? So Moose put on his galoshes and put on his hat. He would find a tree somewhere, somehow, and that's all there was to that. So out went the moose, braving blustery blowing winds and the cold, trudging through snowdrifts, courageous and bold. There he goes. Moose first hoofed it down to the corner. Not a tree to be had. Then he slid around the block. Uh-oh, things were looking bad. He went down every boulevard, street, and little road. He looked down lanes and alleys. Every tree had been sold. There wasn't a branch, not a twig, not even one lousy, bowless bough hanging around. Nope, nada, nothing, not a tree to be found. No tree, sighed a sad moose as he came home empty-handed that snowy eve. The kids tried to make the best of it. They said, "Oh, so who needs a tree?" But Moose could plainly see they were short on the glee. He knew he had to do something, and that's just what he did. In the empty corner, he stood and spread his arms out very wide. Then he smiled at his children, and he winked at his bride. "Kids," he declared, "fetch your forgetful pop some of that tried and true family glop." So back came the kids carrying a big pot of glue, and without a word to one another, they knew just what to do. They each took a part, grabbing strands, taking hold, then carefully, oh so carefully, they glopped and they plopped, they pasted and they pressed. They curled and twirled every which way a follicle could fathom, until Moose's magnificent moustache was indeed even more of a marvel to see. Oh my goodness, look at it. Moose was just a few needles shy of being an evergreen tree. They strung Moose with lights from his head to his toes, and draped him with tinsel, beginning right with his nose. They hung balls that were shiny, and bells that twinkled, candy canes berries, and plums sugar sprinkled. Then they all stood back. Junior plugged in his pop. Ooh, ah, yes, Moose truly was one incredible sight. He was glorious and glowing, and boy, oh boy, was he ever bright. Then Junior placed the star on top of Moose's head. He gave him a kiss and a pat, and they all headed off to bed. Uh-oh, and there went our lights just in time for bed. Get them back on, boys and girls. Tanya's not in here right now. All right, they headed to bed, except Moose, of course. He stayed in the corner instead, still twinkling and blinking and waiting for Santa. Oh, so it wasn't so simple, and it wasn't so easy. And okay, it wasn't so perfectly perfect. But do you know what? It was pretty close. Ho, ho, ho. Oh my goodness, boys, and girls, that was definitely a fiction story made up just for us to listen to and enjoy. That was called Mooseletoe. All right, so in your packet, you should have a paper. It says adjectives for numbers. I'm going to try to pull it up here in color for you real quick. Yeah, we'll look at it in color. Be easier for you. All right, there's a spot for your name at the top. So write your name at the top. They have 3 number words in the box. 7, 2, and 5. We're going to figure out which sentence needs which word. So if you put your finger there by number 1, there's your picture clue. You see a bike. The sentence says, the bike has, wheels. How many wheels does that bike have? Yes, 2. What do you hear at the beginning of t, t, two. I hear a T. Here's the word two. T-W-O. This is the number word two. So you will write that on the line. T-W-O. The bike has two wheels. All right, then when we come down to the next sentence where you see the ducks, let's count the ducks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The ducks swim. All right, what do you hear at the beginning of five? You hear an F. Here's the number word five. F-I-V-E. You're going to write that on the line. The 5 ducks swim. All right, our last one is number 3. Let's count these hats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are hats. All right, what do we hear at the beginning of 7? You hear an S. Here's the number word 7. S-E-V-E-N. You will write that on this line. There are 7 hats. Then by number 4, they want you to write a sentence using one of those number words. So you could either use 7, 2, or 5. You'll have to pick one of them and write your sentence. You might say, I see 2 dogs. Or you might say, I have 5 apples. Whatever you want to write, boys and girls. There are 7 flowers. You choose your sentence and any number word that you want to choose. Write that by number 4. Make sure you start your sentence with an uppercase letter. Make sure you leave spaces between your words. And make sure you end your sentence with correct punctuation. Either a period, a question mark if you are asking a question, or an exclamation mark if you are very, very excited or yelling or screaming. All right, boys and girls, you can send me a picture of your work, or I will just check it when it comes back in your packet. Have a great afternoon.